Hello everyone, this is Robert Mansour, and today I'm going to make a brief video about how to fill out the estate planning questionnaire and how to go about doing that. So if you go to my website, which is mansourlaw.com, and you click on the button that says Get Started at the very top, you will see that it takes you to our Get Started page where there is a brief video there. And then you're going to find 3 steps. Number 1, you make an appointment with my office to make sure that we can help you. Step number 2 is to choose the applicable questionnaire below, and that's what we're going to focus on today. You will notice you have 3 options here: single client, couples, and post-death. So basically what we're focusing on here today is the questionnaires for single people as well as couples. With special focus on couples. Now you'll notice under each one you have the ability to fill out our secure online form or a printable form. The printable form is obviously just a PDF that you can print out, fill out by hand, and send to our office. You can fax it, email it, or just mail it to us. We only ask that you do so and get us all the information a few days before our meeting so I have time to review it. And then the couples is the same thing. You got the secure online form as well as the printable form. Now, if you click on the secure online form, it will take you to the questionnaire, which is right here. So I'd like to spend some time reviewing this questionnaire, and so you can kind of see what it's like to fill out the questionnaire before you have your estate planning meeting. So at the very beginning, you'll see some general instructions. Don't worry if you don't have all the answers to everything. Also, at the very bottom of the form, you will find a place where you can save your work, and it will give you a link that you can pick up where you left off. It mails you a link to your email. Here it's going to ask you for the date of your consultation, how you learned about my office, spouse number 1, usually the person filling out the form, how you want your name to appear in the documents, spouse number 2, how you want your name to appear in the documents as well. Basically basic contact information, mailing address, etc. Let's go to the next page. Now here it asks if either of you have been divorced. If the answer is yes, you click here. If there's anything particular that affects your plan, you would indicate so. Otherwise, you can put no. If you have any prior documents, we'd like to know about those, and please send them to our office well before the meeting so I have time to review them. Let's go to the next page here. The next section talks about the beneficiaries of your living trust. Who is going to be the beneficiaries of your estate? And here you indicate all of that. Now, here you can indicate if you have any children from previous relationships. If you click yes, it will ask you about that. Otherwise, you just leave it as no. Do you have any common children is the next question. Once again, if you click yes, here is a chance where you can list the names of the children and the birth date, and you can add as many children as you need to add. Also, you would indicate here if you don't want your estate to distribute equally among your children, you can indicate here where you want your estate to go. Also, if there will be any distributions upon the first death, how you want your beneficiaries to inherit from you, anything specific that we need to know, etc. Also important, how much control should the surviving spouse have? So after one person dies, does the other person have full discretion to make changes to the living trust? That is an important issue. Let's go to the next page. On this page, you're going to list who your successor trustees are. These are the people who are going to manage your living trust if you can no longer do so yourself. And you can indicate the individual's name and add successor trustees by clicking on this button. Usually we like people to have about 2 or 3 people in line, just in case. The executors are the people in charge of your will in the event that you are not able to serve as the executor of the will. And the will, just by way of background, a will is a backup to your living trust. If you have a living trust, your will is going to serve as a backup. And then if you have any minor children, you would indicate right here. And the reason for that is because you may want to indicate who the guardians are of those minor children. If you and your spouse can no longer be parents to those kids, who do you nominate to be the guardians of those kids? Otherwise, you leave that as no. Let's go to the next page. Here is your chance to indicate who the healthcare agents are going to be. So part of your estate plan is to indicate who your agents for health care are going to be. And these are not just people who quote-unquote pull the plug. These are people who are your advocates, the people who healthcare professionals need to talk to, the people who have access to medical records. And each spouse, just like the will, each spouse can name however many agents they want in the order that they want. Usually the spouse is first in line, followed by those that you indicate here. And of course here you can indicate whether you would prefer that your life be prolonged as much as possible, whether you don't want your life to be prolonged on machinery, etc. Or if you're not sure, you can indicate that too. Organ donation, if you have any preference, cremation, burial, or if you're unsure, you would indicate that, and any other special healthcare instructions you might have. Another part of the estate plan is something called power of attorney, where you list someone to make decisions for you if you cannot make them yourself. Now, these are non-healthcare matters, and there's a lot of things in the world that, people might need to help you with that don't have anything to do with healthcare. And here, spouse number 1 can indicate who his or her agents are going to be, and spouse number 2, again, backups beyond your own spouse. Usually the spouse is number 1 in line. Let's go to the next page here. Now, this last page is going to deal primarily with assets that you have, which helps me give you tips about how to title your assets. So the first part here is if you have any real estate. If you say yes, then you will be have the opportunity to list your real estate right there and add property if you need to. Bank accounts, credit unions, investment accounts, stocks, mutual funds, things like that. Life insurance policies, retirement accounts. If you have any business interests of any sort, any other additional assets like annuities, savings accounts, savings bonds, things like that, timeshares. And if you click yes, you will have the opportunity to list those here. I'd like to know a little bit about your primary reasons or goals for creating your estate plan. That way I can tailor our meeting to those goals. And any additional information you would like to add, you can add that here. And you actually can upload documents to attach to your questionnaire as well. And once everything looks good, you will be able to submit your questionnaire by clicking on the bottom here. Now, a copy of all your responses will be sent to the email that you provided at the very beginning of that questionnaire. Thank you so much. I hope you found this overview of the estate planning questionnaire to be very helpful. Again, my name is Robert Mansour, and I thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video.